give you, I want to just actually just quickly comment on this. We've seen 8% use YouTube. I would be willing to bet that you should remember this, that I said this, and challenge me on it if you ever meet me again in a year or two's time, that we should see YouTube go right up to almost the very top within a couple of years. Almost every business will be using it. Video testimonials are going to be incredibly important to closing sales online in particular. Although 24% said LinkedIn, it was interesting that about 70% of you put your hand up there. So the question I would then ask, are you using it properly? Are you getting business from it? Because if you've been on it for at least 6 months, you should start to see a commercial gain from it. I'm going to show you just a little bit of a case study here. A company that we're working with, which is called Mackay Flooring. Has anyone heard of Mackay Flooring? Yeah? Anyone follow them on Twitter? Nope. That was stretching it a bit too much, wasn't it? Mackay Flooring is the UK's leading supplier of wooden floors. They sell wooden floors to hospitals, to schools, those Schools for the Futures projects in England, etc. We're working with them, although Richard Mackay is actually the managing director of this firm. So we've got a Govan-based wooden flooring firm. If you look, this is his Twitter account. And what you get when you do use Twitter is just this middle bit here, and the rest he's put on himself with his contact details, etc. But there's Richard, who, and before I knew him, was already a best practice user of social media. There's Richard with 29,000 people following him on Twitter. So how does the managing director of a wooden flooring company from Govan get to be one of the UK's leading person on Twitter in terms of followers? Well, Twitter basically is all about, you get 140 characters, it's called microblogging. You get to say what you're thinking about or share information, etc. And you notice that Richard's sharing articles there with the links, the blue links, etc., links to articles that he finds interesting. And also, you'll notice that this here, I can't read French that well, I can, but I don't want to embarrass myself. But this is about his whiskey barrel flooring, and people in France are tweeting about it, and he's retweeting that. So that just means that if somebody somewhere's written about you on Twitter, and it gets rewritten and posted on to different groups of followers, etc. What you can do with Twitter is engage people on a regular basis and use it to build up a group of people who are actually genuinely interested in your business. You can use it to show that genuine interest in other people. So how does this actually work for them? And I should say that as a business, even though we've had a downturn in the construction industry, as we've talked about, they've actually increased their business. And one of the reasons for that is a combination of great sales and marketing, which I'm working with them on, social media integration into that sales and marketing, and actually socializing the whole sales process. But talking, and we talk about blogs, here's actually a blog. This is one of their blogs. And it's a very simple blog. And basically, I don't know if you can see that image of how clear it is there, but they found out that whiskey companies were actually throwing away the whiskey barrels, but they can actually remake them into flooring. The trouble is that the brands are still there. So if you buy a floor that's made out of whiskey barrels, then it's still got some of the brand letters in it. How cool is that? It's pretty good, isn't it? And it looks absolutely fantastic. And you see they've got their own label, which looks like a whiskey bottle label. And so basically, it's just a couple of hundred words. This is something you don't see every day, a floor made out of whiskey barrels. The Scotch whisky industry realised it needed an eco-friendly solution to disposing of old barrels. Instead of merely consigning them to landfill, here at Mackay Flooring, we're happy to play our part. So basically, they're just saying that it's 400 words or thereabouts. So he posts it on Twitter. It goes all over the world within a couple of days, and websites like Cool Stuff for Your Home in America and things like that, you know, with names like that, started to put it out on the front pages as one of the coolest things happening this week. You can actually get a reclaimed whiskey barrel flooring. And as a result, they have launched a product, a niche, highly profitable product, and over 1 million people have seen it, and they're getting sales inquiries from all over the world. Twitter works as a business tool. And that's what Twitter does. It actually drives people to your blog, and your blog is where you share your expertise and you share your product knowledge with a highly targeted group of people. So go on and have a look at what they've got and what they do. Up here you can see that if you like this, you can actually hit the Twitter button, the T button, and that sends it to your Twitter account. You can post it to Facebook, and you've got the RSS feed, which means that you're going to, all blogs are going to be sent to you now. But if you look to the left there, that 203 people have already clicked this on Facebook and said they like it. I think it's good, so they're actually recommending that to their friends. So you get some sort of idea as to just how viral anybody's marketing message can go. That can be useful and it can be used. And I've seen it used across all industries. Finally, LinkedIn, which a lot of you knew about, so I can just quickly go past this. A couple of things I want to talk about here is that one thing that people don't do is they don't use the updates. And I'm updating here saying about the social media survey, which I hope you'll all go to my LinkedIn profile and fill in my social media survey. But by telling people what you're doing, as long as you handle it right, it lets people know who you are, what you're working on, what your expertise is. And quite often, when people search, because it's becoming used as a professional search engine, I've had companies actually find me through going to LinkedIn and saying, I can't find anybody on Google, everybody's search engine optimizing. Let's have a look at LinkedIn and see if I've got someone that's got the skills. And that's how I've actually found clients. But what's interesting is that all of these things, your blog, and I could say to somebody, I can actually say that almost all of my clients follow me on Twitter before they become clients. Almost all of them look at my LinkedIn, and almost all of them go to my blog. And most of the ones that become clients comment on my blog. So it's not actually just the use of one tool. So just using LinkedIn alone is not going to do it. It's a combination. It's your whole online footprint that makes the difference. So that's actually very good. The fact that I've got 26 recommendations there matters to a lot of people as well. You should look to build that up, but don't make it people that work for you, yeah, or people that depend on you to pay their mortgage in any way. Like, yes, I'm a supplier, and he buys a lot of things. In fact, he's my most important. Doesn't. But if you can actually get people you supply to come and say you did a great job, and the return on investment from working with them has been, it really makes a big difference to people actually picking the phone up. And marketing becomes inbound with these tools, not outbound. I can't remember the last time, even though I'm a traditional salesperson by training, I can't remember the last time I actually picked up the phone and phoned someone to introduce myself.